Let's talk a little bit about frames. They're all very, very different, like cars, but stuff you need to know. Okay, in the olden days, many of the frames were these 2x4s with C-clamps on the edge, and they would lift it up to the ceiling when they were done, because it would take up the whole living room. And basically on that type of frame, people work from the outside in. You'll see pictures of quilting bees and stuff like that with that. Well, it's interesting because my dad's mom's quilt frame was found in my mom's attic. They're just 4 boards, and we gave it to the Sister Bay Museum in Door County. I don't know if they used it for firewood or if they've got it, but I hope they've got it. Then there is another type of frame that basically is like this, and it's where you roll your fabric like a roll of film, and you work in the center and work out to one side, like work in the center, work out, and then roll to one side, and then do it the other way. This is the frame that my dad built for me back in the day when we had a quilt frame business. Pop used to make them in the garage. How cute is that? And we sold them locally. And this was really a great frame because you could make it go level for people on both sides. You can make it go low, anywhere in between to fit your comfort. Also the front leg, fold it up, and you could push it against the wall. I'm not going to do it, but the thing would flop down and you push it against the wall. Unfortunately, he doesn't make these frames anymore, but there are frames out there that are what I call the 2-rod system on top. When you're going for a 2-rod system on top, you are going to have to baste, but make sure there is another bar somewhere down below, and this does not help stretch the quilt, but it keeps the frame from going like that if you're going to move it, so it helps with stability. Sometimes these rods like hit at your knee, and I call them knee knockers. Ugh. But then there's another kind of frame, and it's the 3-rod system on top. That doesn't diminish the one below. You still need that. But that one you don't have to baste at all, and it's kind of like a loom where some of the stuff's on one roll, some of the stuff's on the other roll, and then it feeds forward and you roll it. So that's a real neat system. When I wrote my hand quilting book, I wanted to put in the old-fashioned kind of frame instructions in it, and my friend Lee Ellen Cash said, no, that one you have to have skill to be able to put up. So she told me to put this kind of frame in. It's basically just made around 2 sawhorses, and it's very, very effective. It's not pretty to look at, but it really, really works, and it hardly costs anything. So you can do something like this. I will say that, oh, by the way, I have these on my personal website if you want one. I still have some. I think they're going out of print. You want to, when you go to buy a frame, you really do want to see it in person and or go to a friend who has recommended it, because I used to say you get what you pay for. Such is not the case. And ask what the warranty is. For my dad, it was as long as he was around, and he's still around. So if you have one of his frames and you're having issues, Pop-Up will help you out. But in the end, if you really get into hand quilting, you're going to want to use a frame. Up next, if you have to use a hoop, I'm going to show you a real cool trick that I use, okay?